On Monday, March 16, an update was provided by The Young and the Restless regarding Patty Gloats and Victor Rages. The Young and the Restless Y&R spoilers for Monday, March 16 reveal that Patty Williams, played by Stacey Heideck, will give herself a pat on the back after she has succeeded in convincing Jack Abbott, played by Peter Bergman, to give in. On that yacht, Diane Jenkins Abbott, played by Susan Walters, and Billy Abbott, played by Jason Thompson, as well as Kyle Abbott, played by Michael Mealer, are all in for a rude awakening. First, in the episode of Young and the Restless that will air on Monday, Nikki Newman, played by Melody Thomas Scott, will inform Tracy Abbott, played by Beth Maitland, about Jack's kidnapping. This is because Victor Newman, played by Eric Braeden, had Jack out on Lake Michigan with a woman in order to seduce him. It is inevitable that Nikki will not yet be aware that the woman in question is Patty. However, Tracy will appear as though Jack is completely committed to Diane and would not do anything to cause her harm. This is something that Diane most likely felt as well, which is why it will be so upsetting for her to discover Jack and Patty in bed together after they have committed the act of sexual assault. By the time Jack starts experiencing regrets, the effects of his drugging will have subsided, and he will be spinning out of control. Patty will not be able to comprehend how Jack could possibly provide an explanation for betraying her with this sociopath, despite the fact that Jack will find it necessary to explain. Patty is going to act as if Jack was starving for a real lady, but Diane is not going to want to hear those words. There will come a time when Billy and Kyle will show up in the doorway, and Billy will admit that he was caught off guard by their appearance. Kyle will make it appear as though he is pretty indignant on behalf of his mother, and he will question what Jack is doing. Patty will make the suggestion that it is a party at this point, but in the end, she will grab her belongings and depart after Diane gives her the command to do so. Jack will be perplexed as to how this transpired and will make an effort to have a quiet conversation with Diane. However, she will smack him and will not appear to be willing to listen to him. Once he is back with Billy, he will make a phone call to Tracy and inform her that Jack is safe. When Nikki hears the news, she will know that Victor's plot has been foiled by the Abbotts, and she will rush home to make sure she has a chance to process the information. After arriving at the Newman Ranch, Adam Newman, played by Mark Grossman, will make an effort to persuade Victor Newman, played by Eric Braeden, that it would be beneficial for him to accompany Nick Newman, played by Joshua Morrow, to Vegas in order to defeat Matt Clark, played by Roger Howarth. In the conclusion, Victoria Newman, played by Amelia Heinel, will reveal the truth about Victor kidnapping Jack, and Nick will reach out to her in a state of shock and concern about the consequences of her actions. On the other hand, Victoria Newman, portrayed by Amelia Heinel, will comprehend Victor's desire to engage in sleazy behavior and will maintain her stance on her decision to travel to Milan for her summer Newman recruitment assignment, which was formerly performed by Allison Lanier. During their conversation at the coffee house, Sharon Newman, played by Sharon Case, will admit that Nick shared many of the same fears as Chelsea Lawson, played by Melissa Claire Egan, with regard to Adam revisiting his past as Spider during his time in Vegas. Having said that, Sharon will have reasons to believe that Adam has changed as a person and that he is capable of dealing with this situation, particularly because Nick is supporting him. In the future, Chelsea will reach out to Adam in order to receive some reassuring words as they say their goodbyes before his trip to Las Vegas. Nikki, on the other hand, is going to go back to the ranch and tell everyone about how the Abbotts have saved Jack. After receiving confirmation from one of his people, Victor will be left in a state of depression while Nikki continues to shout at him. When Nikki behaves in a manner that suggests forgiveness might not be possible, according to spoilers for The Young and the Restless, Victor will respond by lashing out at her and kicking her out of the house. Please consider CDL to be your one-stop source for Young and the Restless spoilers and news, as we are the place to go for all of your Young and the Restless needs.